Every believer dreams of heaven, but most have no idea what they'll actually be experiencing for all eternity. The Bible reveals 7 incredible moments that await you in paradise, and the 4th one is so beautiful it will fill your heart with indescribable joy. When you discover these divine encounters, you'll never fear death again and start counting the days until you're home with Jesus. 1. Your first glimpse of Jesus. Imagine the moment your earthly eyes close for the last time, and your heavenly eyes open for the first time. The first thing you'll see won't be golden streets or pearly gates. It will be Him. Jesus. The one your soul has been crying out for your entire life. The Apostle Paul tells us in 1 Corinthians 13 verse 12, "For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face." Right now, you know Jesus through faith, through His Word, through prayer. But in that incredible moment, you'll see Him face to face. And friends, nothing in your earthly experience will have prepared you for the overwhelming beauty of that encounter. Picture His eyes. Eyes that have watched over you every single day of your life. Eyes that have seen every tear you've cried, every prayer you've whispered in the darkness, every moment you've felt completely alone. Those same eyes will be filled with such love, such joy, such pride in seeing you home that you'll wonder how you ever doubted His care for you. You'll see His hands. The hands that were pierced for your sins. The hands that have been working all things together for your good. And when He reaches out to touch you, to welcome you home, you'll feel a love so pure, so complete, that every earthly love will seem like a shadow in comparison. Here's what will shock you most: He won't be a stranger. Your spirit will recognize Him immediately because this is the moment you were created for. Every prayer you've ever prayed, every worship song you've ever sung, every time you felt His presence, it was all preparing you for this face-to-face encounter. And the first words you hear Him speak, they might be the sweetest words ever spoken: "Welcome home, my beloved child. Well done, good and faithful servant. I've been waiting for you." This is why we can face any trial here on earth. This is why death has lost its sting. Because we know who is waiting for us on the other side. But that's just the beginning of the joy that awaits you. 2. Reunion with loved ones. Every believer has someone they can't wait to see again. Maybe it's your mother who prayed you through every crisis. Your father who taught you about God's love. A child who was taken too soon. A friend who walked through life with you until heaven called them home. Here's what the Bible promises in 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 17, "We will be caught up together." Together. Did you catch that? Death doesn't end relationships. It perfects them. Picture this moment: you've just seen Jesus face to face, and now you hear a familiar voice calling your name. You turn, and there they are. The grandmother who used to read you Bible stories. The spouse who shared your dreams. The child you thought you'd never hold again. But they're not the way you remember them from their last days on earth. No more wheelchairs. No more hospital beds. No more pain etched on their faces. They're radiant, whole, more alive than they ever were on earth. And when you run into their arms, you'll realize something beautiful: that empty chair at your dinner table, that missing voice on your birthday, that ache in your heart every holiday, it was all temporary. "Mom, I've missed you so much," you might whisper through tears of joy. And she'll hold you and say, "Sweetheart, I've been watching. I've been praying. And I never really left you." There will be stories to share, laughter to catch up on, and memories to create. But here's the most beautiful part: no more goodbyes. No more, "See you later." No more missing them. These embraces, they last forever. Death isn't the end of relationship. It's the beginning of perfect relationship. And while you're celebrating with familiar faces, you'll also meet some incredible new friends. 3. Meeting your spiritual heroes. Remember reading Bible stories as a child and wishing you could ask the heroes questions? What was it really like when Moses saw the burning bush? How did David feel facing that giant? What did Paul experience on the Damascus road? Here's something that will blow your mind: in heaven, you'll sit down with Moses, David, Paul, and every believer you've ever admired. This isn't wishful thinking. Jesus himself promised in Matthew 8 verse 11, "Many will come from the east and the west and will take their places at the feast with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven." Picture this incredible moment. You're walking through paradise when you see a familiar figure ahead. It's Moses, the man who led Israel out of Egypt. He turns, smiles, and says, "You must be one of the redeemed. Come, sit with me. I've been waiting to meet you." You'll ask him about the Red Sea, and he'll laugh and say, "You should have seen Pharaoh's face when those walls of water came crashing down." You'll sit with David as he tells you what it was really like standing before Goliath with nothing but a sling and absolute faith in God. You'll hear Paul describe the moment Jesus appeared to him in blinding light. But it won't just be biblical heroes. You'll meet missionaries who died in foreign lands, martyrs who chose death over denial, and faithful grandmothers who prayed their families into the kingdom. Believers from every nation, every century, every walk of life, all united as one eternal family. And here's what's beautiful, there will be no language barriers, no cultural misunderstandings, just perfect fellowship as you share stories, learn from their faith, and realize you're part of the greatest family that ever existed. But nothing, absolutely nothing, will prepare you for this next moment. For God wiping away every tear. Friends, what I'm about to share will fill your heart with such overwhelming joy that you might start crying right here watching this video. Picture this, the creator of the universe, the God who spoke galaxies into existence, gently taking your face in his hands. Revelation 21 verse 4 gives us this incredible promise: He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. But here's what most people miss, it doesn't say an angel will do it. It doesn't say it will just happen. It says he will do it. God himself will tenderly, personally, wipe away every tear you've ever cried. Think about that for a moment. Every tear from your childhood when you felt rejected and alone. Every tear from that phone call that changed everything. Every tear you cried over broken dreams, lost loved ones, and prayers that seemed unanswered. Every tear you've shed in secret, thinking no one cared or understood. As God's gentle hands touch your face, something miraculous happens. With each tear he wipes away, he shows you how he was present in that moment of pain. You'll see how your suffering wasn't random, it was purposeful. How every trial was preparing you for this eternal glory. I was there, he'll whisper. I was there when your heart was breaking. I was there when you felt abandoned. I caught every tear, and now I'm erasing every wound. In that moment, you'll finally understand Romans 8 verse 28. You'll see how all things truly did work together for good. Every disappointment will make sense. Every loss will have meaning. And you'll realize that every tear you shed broke his heart too, because you are his beloved child. This isn't just healing, friends. This is complete restoration. You won't just be made whole, you'll be more whole than you've ever been in your entire existence. 5. Receiving your eternal reward. And just when you think heaven couldn't get more beautiful, Jesus looks at you with eyes sparkling with joy and says, "Come, I have something for you." You thought salvation was free, and it is, but God still has rewards waiting that will take your breath away. Paul tells us in 2 Timothy 4 verse 8 about the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. This isn't just for apostles, friends. This is for you. Picture Jesus himself approaching with a crown in his hands. But here's what will shock you, he's not holding a reward for the big things you did. He's holding crowns for the secret acts of kindness you thought no one noticed. That time you prayed for a stranger. That moment you chose forgiveness when revenge felt justified. Those nights you stayed awake praying for your children. You remember this, he'll say, showing you a moment when you helped someone and never told a soul. And this, he'll continue, revealing how your faithfulness in small things impacted eternity. Every dollar you gave when money was tight. Every time you bit your tongue instead of speaking harshly. Every prayer you whispered in desperation. As he places that crown on your head, you'll realize something profound: nothing you did for Jesus was ever forgotten or wasted. Every sacrifice mattered. Every act of obedience counted. Every moment of faithfulness was building treasure in heaven. But here's the most beautiful part: the moment that crown touches your head, you'll understand why the 24 elders in Revelation cast their crowns before his throne. Because the greatest reward isn't wearing the crown, it's having something precious to lay at his feet in worship. But even rewards pale in comparison to what comes next. 6. Exploring the new earth. Here's something that might shock you: heaven isn't just endless worship services floating on clouds. The Bible reveals in Isaiah 65 verse 17 that God will create new heavens and a new earth, and you're going to explore every magnificent inch of it. Picture this: a world where everything you've ever loved about creation is perfected and magnified beyond your wildest dreams. Mountains that soar higher than Everest without the danger. Oceans more beautiful than the Caribbean without the storms. Forests more vibrant than the Amazon without the decay. And here's what will take your breath away: you'll have a perfect body to experience it all. Want to climb that mountain? Your legs will never tire. Want to swim in those crystal waters? You'll never need to catch your breath. Want to run through those endless meadows? You'll move with the grace of a gazelle and the speed of light itself. But it gets even better. Remember how Adam was given work to do in the Garden of Eden? You'll have meaningful work too, but without the frustration, without the failure, without the fatigue. You might design gardens that bloom with colors that don't exist on Earth. You might build structures that defy every law of physics. You might explore galaxies that are light years away in what feels like moments. And the animals? Isaiah 11 verse 6 tells us, "The wolf will live with the lamb." You'll walk beside lions like house cats. You'll ride horses that gallop on air. You'll swim with whales that sing songs of praise. This is your eternal adventure, friends. Not boredom, but exploration. Not limitation, but infinite possibility. Not retirement, but the ultimate calling to participate in God's perfect creation. And through all these incredible experiences, one final moment ties it all together. 7. Eternal worship in perfect unity. And now we come to the moment that ties everything together: the purpose for which you were created, the destiny your soul has been crying out for your entire life. Eternal worship in perfect unity with every believer who has ever lived. The Apostle John gives us a glimpse in Revelation 7 verses 9 to 10, a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people and language, standing before the throne and before the Lamb. And they cried out in a loud voice, "Salvation belongs to our God, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb." Picture this incredible scene: millions upon millions of voices lifted in perfect harmony. Not the awkward, off-key singing you might experience in church on Sunday, but voices perfected by God Himself, creating music more beautiful than anything ever heard on earth. And here's what will amaze you: this isn't worship you have to force yourself into. This isn't standing because you're supposed to. This is worship that flows from a heart so grateful, so overwhelmed by His love, that praise becomes as natural as breathing. You'll learn new songs, songs that only the redeemed can sing. Your voice will harmonize perfectly with believers from every century. The shy grandmother who never sang in public will belt out praises with confidence. The tone-deaf believer will discover they have a voice like an angel. But here's the most beautiful part: you'll be worshiping face to face with Jesus. Every song will be directed to the one who saved you, who died for you, who prepared this place for you. And as your voice joins that eternal chorus, you'll finally understand why you were created. This isn't a worship service that ends after an hour. This is the song that never ends, the praise that grows more beautiful throughout eternity, the purpose that will fulfill you forever. This is your destiny, beloved. This is what awaits you when you close your eyes on earth and open them in paradise. If you prayed that prayer, write "I'm going home" in the comments. We want to celebrate with you. And don't forget to subscribe for more glimpses of heaven that will fill your heart with hope.